Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always. What are we looking at today?
Well, we've got a really cool collection of radiology reports
Okay.
from a zoo.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to be looking at,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the amazing creatures they have there. We're going to be looking at how they use this pretty high-tech imaging to diagnose and treat these animals.
So, like, what kind of animals are we talking about?
Well,
what kind of imaging?
We're going to be looking at penguins,
Okay.
a meerkat,
Uh-huh.
Fennec foxes, a black swan, even a lion.
Whoa, a lion. That's impressive. What kind of imaging can they even use on a lion?
That's what's so cool about this is they're using this Claris V cone beam CT scanner.
Okay, I've heard of those. They're pretty advanced, right?
Yeah, it's from ICR Co. Inc.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing because it was actually originally donated to the zoo as a research unit.
Oh, wow.
But they were so blown away by what it could do that they ended up upgrading to the brand new model.
So they liked it so much they decided to make it a permanent fixture. That's a pretty strong endorsement.
Right. And reading these reports, I mean, you can really see why. The staff is saying they can't imagine going back to their old methods.
So what is it about this Claris V that's got them so excited?
Well, let's look at the penguins, for example.
Okay, penguins. They're always fun.
Right. They used the Claris V to monitor lung conditions in these Humboldt penguins.
Interesting. And what did they find?
Well, the detail it provided was incredible. Like they could see the lungs, the air sacs, the spleen, the heart, even tiny nodules.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, that level of detail must be so helpful for diagnosing and treating those penguins.
It's like game-changing.
Absolutely. You can see exactly what's going on inside those tiny bodies.
Yeah, like in one report, they describe how they were able to actually track the progression of these lung issues over several months.
Oh, wow. So like a long-term view.
And they even noticed mild splenomegaly.
Splenomegaly, what's that?
It's an enlarged spleen, which could indicate some other underlying health issue.
Ah, I see. So they're picking up on things that they might have missed otherwise.
Yeah, and they were able to see how the treatment was working, like in real time.
That's incredible. So instead of just hoping for the best, they can actually see if the treatment is having the desired effect.
Exactly. It's like a window into the penguin's body.
That's a fantastic way to put it. It reminds me of, how we've talked about the importance of early detection in human medicine.
Right.
It seems like this technology could be just as crucial for animals.
Absolutely. And speaking of getting a clear picture, there's a report here on a meerkat that was originally thought to have an abdominal mass.
Oh, that sounds serious.
It does, right?
Yeah.
But the Claris V showed it was actually uteromegaly, not a tumor.
So they were able to avoid unnecessary procedures.
Exactly. And what I thought was really interesting is the radiologist actually recommended using intravenous contrast with the Claris V.
Oh, so they could get even more detail.
Yeah, for an even clearer view of the ovaries and the uterus.
It's like this machine has different settings for different situations.
Right, like a high-tech Swiss Army knife.
Uh,
Okay, so we've seen how it helps with penguins and meerkats.
Pretty impressive.
What else do we have?
Let's see. Here's some reports on Fennec foxes.
Fennec foxes.
Yeah.
Those tiny desert foxes with the huge ears.
Those are the ones. They're adorable.
They are. So what were they being treated for?
Well, one of them was being monitored for oral melanoma.
Oh, like a skin cancer.
Right. And the Claris Fetty was able to show that it had spread to the lungs.
Oh, no, that's sad.
It is, but catching it early is so important.
Definitely.
And that's where this technology really shines. It can detect those subtle changes that might otherwise be missed.
So early detection can really make a difference in the outcome.
Absolutely. And, speaking of detail, the Claris V also gave them incredible images of the fox's skeleton.
Oh, wow. What did they find?
Well, there was a fractured C2 vertebra, which explains why the fox was having trouble holding its head up.
Oh, cool thing.
And there were signs of intervertebral disc disease.
Okay.
And even a luxation at the base of the tail.
Wait, it picked up on all of that.
It did. It's really remarkable how much information this scanner can provide.
Yeah, it's like it's pushing the boundaries of what's possible in veterinary medicine.
I think you're right. And it's not just about the technology itself. It's about how it's being used to improve the lives of these animals.
That's a great point. And we've got even more amazing cases to discuss, like the black swans and even the lion.
I can't wait to hear about those, but maybe we should take a quick break and come back to those in a bit.
Sounds good to me. We'll be back in a flash with more fascinating insights from these zoo radiology reports.
Stay tuned. You know what else is interesting about these reports?
What's that?
They're using the Claris V not just for the initial diagnosis,
Oh, okay.
but also for long-term monitoring.
I see. So they can track how things are progressing over time.
Yeah. Like, remember that penguin with the lung issues?
Uh-huh.
They were able to see the nodules actually resolving.
So it wasn't just about getting a diagnosis.
Right. It was about seeing how the penguin was responding to the antifungal treatments.
So they could be sure that the treatment was working.
Exactly. And they saw the same thing with another penguin. They were able to watch the pulmonary infiltrates clear up over time.
So that visual confirmation must be really reassuring for the vets.
I bet it is. They can see with their own eyes that the treatment is having the desired effect.
And it makes me wonder, what kind of impact this could have on our overall understanding of animal health.
That's a good question.
Like, could studying these detailed images lead to new discoveries or better conservation strategies?
Absolutely. It's like we're getting a glimpse into a whole new world.
Right. It's like bridging the gap between veterinary medicine and protecting animals in the wild.
Exactly. And speaking of bridging gaps, the Claris V seems to work really well with a variety of different animals.
We've seen it with birds and mammals, and I'm assuming it can be used on reptiles too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's one of the things that makes it so impressive.
It's versatility.
Yeah. You can use it on all sorts of different species, each with their own unique anatomy.
Well, we saw that with the Fennec fox.
Right. It's a tiny creature, but the Claris V was still able to capture those incredible images of its skeleton.
Showing the fracture, the disc disease, and even that little tail luxation.
And remember the black swan?
Yeah.
They were worried about fractures in the pelvis and legs, but the Claris V was able to rule those out.
So it helped them avoid unnecessary procedures.
Exactly. Which is obviously better for the animals, less stress and discomfort.
It seems like this technology is really a win-win for both the vets and the animals.
I think so. It's all about giving them the best possible care.
Okay, so we've talked about how the Claris V is being used for monitoring and its versatility.
Right.
But one thing that really struck me was how often the reports mentioned the clarity of the images.
Yeah, they really are incredibly clear.
Like in the penguin cases, they were able to see the lungs, air sacs, spleen, and heart in such detail.
And that clarity is what allows them to make those accurate diagnoses.
Like with the meerkat.
They could see that uterus so clearly.
And rule out a more serious condition.
Yeah, it's not just about seeing, it's about understanding.
And applying that knowledge to make the best decisions for the animals.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating.
It's not just about the technology, it's about the impact it's having on the lives of these animals.
And potentially shaping the future of animal care.
It's like we're getting a glimpse into a world where vets have these incredible tools at their disposal.
Leading to even better outcomes for the animals.
But it's important to remember that no technology is perfect, right? The Claris V must have its limitations, right? Like we saw with the lion. The scanner's field of view is limited because of the animal's size. They couldn't get the whole spine in one scan.
Yeah, that's true.
But they were still able to get valuable information.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
About the lion's intervertebral disc disease.
Right. It wasn't a complete picture, but it was enough to help them make treatment decisions.
And ultimately improve the lion's well-being.
Exactly. It's all about using the technology to its fullest potential, even when there are challenges.
Which speaks to the expertise of the vets and radiologists who are interpreting these images.
Absolutely. They have to consider the context, the animal's overall health, and any limitations of the technology.
It's a real testament to their skill and dedication.
I agree.
So where do we go from here? What's next for this kind of technology in animal care?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
It's designed to be compact and easy to move, requiring only a standard wall outlet.
Really?
Yeah, it's so small it can even fit in a travel trailer.
Wait, hold up. Advanced imaging, got on wheels.
Yep.
Where else could this technology be used?
That's where things get really fascinating.
Okay, lay it on me.
The potential applications of mobile cone beam CT are vast.
Like what?
Well, human healthcare, archaeology, even inspecting infrastructure.
Wow. So even though it was designed for research, actually using it in a clinical setting revealed some practical hurdles.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That feedback led to a more compact and mobile design. Remember, it can even fit in a travel trailer now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They also discovered that being able to quickly scan an animal, especially one that's stressed or injured, was crucial.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
A long scan could be tough on the animal and the staff.
Exactly. And that led to improvements in the scanner speed. It can now acquire a full 3D image in a matter of seconds.
Really? That's amazing.
The zoo's input essentially helped transform the Claris V from a powerful but somewhat cumbersome research tool into a streamlined, user-friendly machine that's perfect for busy clinical settings.
So it's like they took a high-performance sports car and turned it into a nimble, all-terrain vehicle.
I like that.
Still powerful, but now able to handle any road.
That's a great analogy, and this evolution has huge implications.
Sure,
If a relatively small zoo can make the leap from a donated research unit to owning the latest mobile model, it suggests that this technology is becoming increasingly affordable and practical for a wider range of veterinary practices.
Okay, that's huge EE.
Right.
It's like the early days of personal computers. What was once exclusive and expensive becomes mainstream and accessible.
Exactly. There was a case involving a large tortoise with a mysterious swelling on its leg.
Ah, tortoises, those shelled enigmas.
I know, right?
What was going on there?
An X-ray showed some bone abnormalities,
Okay.
but the Claris V revealed the full extent of the issue.
Oh.
A complex bone infection that was much more extensive than initially suspected.
So the Claris V wasn't just confirming what they already knew. It was revealing hidden problems that could have been easily missed.
Exactly. And that early detection allowed the vets to intervene with a targeted treatment plan, likely saving the tortoise from a much worse outcome.
Wow.
That ability to see beyond the surface is a game changer, especially for animals that might not show obvious signs of illness.
It's like having a window into the hidden world of animal anatomy, revealing secrets that were previously locked away.
I love that.
But I'm curious, did the reports mention anything about how the Claris V is impacting the relationship between vets and animal owners? After all, if a vet can actually show an owner a 3D image of what's happening inside their pet, that's got to change the conversation, right?
That's a brilliant observation, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The reports highlighted how the Claris V is enhancing communication and building trust between vets and owners.
Okay, tell me more about that. How exactly is this technology changing that dynamic?
Well, imagine you're a pet owner worried sick about your furry friend. Instead of just hearing your vet describe a complex medical issue, you can now actually see it for yourself in vivid 3D.
Yeah.
It makes the diagnosis more real, more understandable.
Yeah.
And it allows you to be a more informed participant in your pet's care.
It's like going from listening to a lecture to having an interactive 3D model in front of you.
Exactly.
Suddenly it all clicks.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that shared understanding can lead to better treatment compliance, less anxiety for the owner, and ultimately better outcomes for the animal.
So it's not just about fancy tech. It's about using technology to foster a more collaborative and compassionate approach to veterinary care.
Exactly.
I like that.
And this emphasis on communication is especially important as we move towards wider adoption of mobile CBCT.
Right.
Vets will need to be able to explain the benefits of this technology to owners and help them understand why it's worth investing in.
It's about educating owners,
Yeah.
empowering them to make informed decisions, and building trust through transparency.
Right. And as the cost of this technology continues to come down, we can expect to see it becoming more widely available, making it an increasingly accessible option for pet owners who want the best possible care for their furry companions.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears for a moment and zoom out to the bigger picture.
Okay.
We've been laser focused on the Claris V and its impact on veterinary medicine, which is fascinating in itself.
It is.
But I can't help but wonder about the ripple effects of this technology in other fields.
Yeah, I agree.
After all, if we can see inside a penguin with such incredible detail, what else can we be looking at?
That's where things get really mind-blowing.
Okay, lay it on me.
Remember how we said that Claris V is just the tip of the iceberg?
Oh, I remember.
Well, from human healthcare to archaeology to inspecting bridges and airplanes,
Wow.
the potential applications of mobile cone beam CT are vast.
Okay.
We'll explore those uncharted territories in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, my mind is officially primed for some mind-blowing, beyond-the-zoo applications of mobile cone beam CT.
I'm ready when you are.
Lay it on me. Where else could this tech make waves?
Well, we hinted at human healthcare earlier, but let's really dive in.
Okay.
Imagine a remote village, maybe somewhere, with limited access to medical facilities.
Right.
Suddenly, a mobile CBCT unit rolls in, equipped to diagnose everything from dental problems to bone fractures.
It's like bringing high-tech healthcare directly to people who need it most, regardless of where they live.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's all about bridging those gaps in access and bringing essential diagnostic tools to underserved communities.
Right.
And it's not just about remote villages. Think about disaster relief efforts.
Oh, yeah, good point.
After an earthquake or a hurricane, a mobile CBCT unit could be on the scene quickly, providing immediate imaging for victims and guiding emergency medical care.
So it's not just a diagnostic tool, it's potentially a lifesaver in those critical moments when every second counts.
Exactly. And the applications go way beyond healthcare.
Okay.
Let's talk archaeology. Imagine you're excavating a delicate, ancient burial site.
Oh, wow.
Instead of risking damage to fragile remains, you could use mobile CBCT to scan the site non-destructively.
So you're basically getting a 3D X-ray vision of the past, revealing hidden details without disturbing the site.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
It's like opening a window into history without even lifting a trowel.
Right.
And it's not just archaeology. Think about infrastructure.
Infrastructure, okay.
Bridges, pipelines, aircraft.
Yeah.
All these things need regular inspection,
Of course.
but it's not always easy to see what's going on inside.
Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. Mobile CBCT seems to be the answer whenever you need to see the unseen.
I like that.
But how would it work for something like a bridge inspection?
Well, you could scan the bridge's support beams looking for tiny cracks or structural weaknesses that might not be visible to the naked eye.
Oh, wow.
Early detection of these issues could prevent catastrophic failures and ensure public safety.
So it's like giving engineers X-ray vision superpowers, helping them keep our infrastructure safe and sound.
Exactly.
And the potential applications just keep expanding.
Yeah, they do.
What about the art world?
That's a good one.
Imagine scanning a priceless painting or sculpture to reveal hidden layers, understand the artist's techniques, or even detect signs of damage.
That would be incredible.
It's like peeling back the layers of time and artistry, getting a glimpse into the creative process itself.
I know, it'd be so cool.
And with the advancements in 3D printing, you could even use these scans to create exact replicas of fragile artifacts,
Oh, yeah.
making them accessible to researchers and museums worldwide without risking damage to the originals.
That's amazing.
So we're not just talking about seeing things differently, we're talking about preserving history, democratizing access to art, and even replicating priceless objects.
It's crazy. Right.
This technology is really pushing boundaries in so many directions.
Yeah.
What we're witnessing is the democratization of advanced imaging. Technology that was once confined to labs is now becoming more mobile, affordable, and accessible.
Exactly.
It's like the power of seeing the unseen is being put into the hands of more people across more fields. And that has the potential to change the way we approach everything from healthcare to art to understanding the world around us.
That's really amazing.
Well, after this deep dive, I'm convinced that mobile cone beam CT is much more than just a cool piece of tech.
Yeah, me too.
It's a tool with the potential to change the world in countless ways.
It really is.
And it all started with a zoo wanting to see inside a penguin a little better.
It's amazing how a seemingly simple goal can spark such a wave of innovation.
And that's the beauty of human curiosity. It drives us to explore, to invent, and to constantly push the boundaries of what we know and what we can achieve.
Absolutely.
So listeners, you go about your day, keep your eyes open for those seemingly simple questions, those sparks of curiosity that might lead to the next big breakthrough.
I love that.
Because who knows? The next revolutionary technology might be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered.
It's true.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.